Have you ever made an unhinged design decision?
I need it right here.
I tore out a wall because of a picture that I could not get out of my head.
Right here. Like, right here. I have to knock this wall out.
And I'm not finished yet because the spray paint, it's still here. It might seem like this renovation went smoothly. Buckle up. Everyone else saw a kitchen that needed updating and I saw this. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I built it with absolutely zero masonry experience. So far in this space, I've knocked out the wall, laced in the floor, turned an $80 Facebook Marketplace dresser into a stunning island, poured all of the concrete countertops, and customized the cabinetry. But this entire renovation was built around this arch. That's not going to be that difficult. I'll just do doot doot doot, but doot 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 is like 4 million more doots than you thought. My original plan was to build this thing all the way to the floor.
I don't know if this is gonna work.
I like to pretend that this is a 5,000 square foot home, but in reality, it is much smaller, and the arch didn't quite seem to fit. So against my better judgment, I built it anyway.
This is massive.
And I continued to build it. I don't know. I'm a sucker for punishment. But also, I feel like I had to see this in the space in order to make the right decision.
I'm gonna cut the arch piece, and essentially that's gonna bring it together. And then I'm gonna bring like a front piece down.
I'm thinking if I end up keeping it this size and I add the stone to it, it's going to seem like I've built a whole castle right here inside my small kitchen. I think I have to take it apart and make it smaller. I'm not joking. I was really trying to figure out if this was going to work or not.
I wanted the stone all the way down to the ground. That's why I have this space here. And
I can't figure it out if this looks grand or if it's too big for the space.
I want to get it right. So the difference between getting a custom kitchen from a company and doing it yourself, you don't get a 3D rendering. I mean, maybe you do if you know how to do SketchUp. I don't. I've tried. It's like foreign language to me. I can draw it, but I have to feel it. I have to feel it in real life. Is this too big?
I took it down, but I was not happy about it. I knew that this vision was right. I just hadn't figured out how to execute it properly.
Did not expect to be making 2 options of this today, but here we are.
I can literally make this one on the ground. It's that little. It's that small.
So pissed about it, but
It's gonna be so nice no matter what. This one together, and the second I saw the size compared to how large the first one was, I knew the proportions were much better for the size of the kitchen. Stop soaking about it because now that I'm looking at the space and I have the large piece down, it does make sense. I feel like if I would have chosen the smaller version, my heart would have wanted the stone all the way to the floor, and I wouldn't have realized until seeing it in the space that it didn't fit. But a lot of the kitchen was still under construction. I had cabinets to build, concrete countertops to pour, an island to finish. So I did all of that, and I have detailed videos on my channel, so make sure you subscribe and check those out. I go through every single step of this renovation in great detail, but let's jump forward to those projects being finished, and now we can install the stone. A lot of you suggested on Instagram that I should not be applying the stone directly to the plywood. So I actually did have some cement board left over from the bathroom renovation, and it was just enough to screw to the plywood. That way you have what's called a scratch coat. So a scratch coat is what's going to hold your mortar a lot better than the plywood. So although I am still sanding this part of the concrete, I am going to start this part of the range. One of the hardest things that I didn't think would be one of the hardest things is figuring out what stones you're going to use, because it's not like tile where everything is the same or there's a specific pattern. You are given all of these stones, and you really want to make sure that you don't have all of the large pieces on one side and then all of the small pieces on another. So I laid every stone out in piles, in sizing and in color, and sort of mocked up where I wanted everything to go.
So I'm gonna back butter it. I don't know if that's what they call it when you're doing stonework, but that's what you do with the tile.
So the scratch coat is essentially me putting mortar onto the cement board, because the cement board has little tiny holes. It's very bumpy and rigid. So once the mortar is on that, it will grab to the stone. The same with tile work. It's called back buttering. So you put mortar on the back of the tile as well. That way it gets in all of the grooves and crevices of the tile, and here, in this case, of the stonework. And when both are sandwiched together, you have a much better adhesion. I got into it, I realized that I don't actually have my backsplash on, and I don't want to cut my backsplash to fit the tile. So I'm taping a tile to the wall. That way when I start the backsplash, I can just sneak that one in behind there and it'll look as if it's cut custom to the stonework. And in reality, it skips a lot of work. I also should have planned out maybe 4 or 5 of them and had them cut before I mixed this up. So I might do all of the corners and then plan my cuts and then mix up another batch. Because this does, I think you have like an hour of working time, but I find really only have like a solid 30 minutes. You can probably push it to 40, but going out and cutting tiles. Anyway, now I'm talking and causing time. Got him. The first few stones went on pretty easy, and then I quickly realized how much planning this actually takes. It's not the process of installing it or even cutting the brick. It is your layout. That is my biggest takeaway on this project, is planning it out, because it could look really stupid really fast. And I started to learn that just a few stones in. Didn't want both of those long skinny ones to go together. I have to have a long skinny one to meet this. And this is where you can do what you want to do. Move my laser down to the top of that stone because that's the one I want to mimic or match. And now that'll allow me to have this one here. I'm gonna fill it with mortar anyway, but put your cut edge towards the wall. Starting to really look good on this one side and the corner until I realized that the actual arch above the range is where a lot of the detail has to go. I feel like I should have maybe planned out my layout a little bit more. My thought is, do I just continue to go across the top and cut the curve into the stone? Or do I do this? Very intentionally, like, you know? I don't even know what that's called. I feel like you would do it with a smaller one. I don't know because, but do you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's intentionally across the top. I've got to stop and go on Pinterest and make that decision before I go any further because surprisingly, an hour and a half in, I've actually already made it that far, but I have to figure this out. So I did Google and I found majority of them that look very, very intentional have like this, the set stones here. Now it's another layer. Do I use a corner or do I use this? Because I'm still not exactly sure. How do I hold it up there until it cures? I'm gonna get the other corner on and then I'll see what corner pieces I have left. I don't think I have enough. The reason why I ended up dividing them into two was so that essentially it would be, you know, not all of the really light stones on this side, not all of the 10-inch on this side, not all of the 4-inch on this one. So they're dispersed evenly. Now, the only thing I really had to take into consideration is that this side ends up meeting, have it meet the top of this. That way, when it goes all the way across, and then also the 2 rows up here, it will look very intentional and planned out because we all know that I did not plan this out. Also, I don't think that other pointed trowel was worth it. This works just fine. And I can scoop way better out of the bucket. This is where the art of like trying to figure out both sides being balanced, but not the same. Because currently this side feels heavier because there's more like bulk on the front. So now I'm going to try and balance that so that there's a few smaller pieces right here. Like there's one here that goes the full length, but it's only the skinny guy. So now I'm going to do some smaller ones just to balance that side. Capiche? Make sense? I'm going to show you this. This is my genius invention. Look at this. So this is my favorite invention ever. I have my big DeWalt light. The laser level sits on top of it perfectly. Now just move it up where you need it. So often it's really hard to find somewhere metal to stick this. Okay, hook it up there. Hook it up. I have
When's the scent that?
I actually showed you the amount of procrastination that I do in one of these videos and how much I have to go through and delete. Because when I get nervous, like putting the stones across the arch and getting that design right, I'm just eating things. I'm fueled by bubbly. I'm walking in circles, all because I'm trying to avoid what ultimately has to happen anyway. So I mixed up my mud fairly thick, hoping that that would help me keep the stones up vertically. And I started the install. I also went with cornerstones. I had to run to the store and grab 3 extras, but the cornerstones really finished the arch, and that way you didn't have to see a bunch of mortar. That was a bad idea. Then I figured out I could put a piece of plywood across the countertop, and then I could use slim pieces of wood to hold the stone upright.
It's gonna work.
Overnight. That way when it's set, I could do the top of it and it'll work. I hope.
Pretty sure that this is how you do it. But now I have like 8 or 9 more. So that's gonna look really funny for 24 hours, but perfection. Perfection. I don't know, fancy rock people probably have a better way to do this. There's my line. Put this on the line. Fold it.
I use this method constantly for flooring, for tiles, the loose leaf trace out method. I don't know. I also did not mention how I'm actually cutting the brick. You can use a grinder, you could use a wet saw. I actually have this very convenient small cutoff tool from Craftsman. I have a masonry blade on it, and it worked so well, cutting every piece. Okay, it's done. I made an absolute disaster up there. I still have to put some drywall compound up and get the ceiling patched completely. I'm going to now cut the things behind me, the bookshelf spice racks, Spice Girl bookshelves. I had a lot of people on Instagram ask me if this was DIY friendly. I'm not gonna say this is your first project that you should be doing if you're starting in the DIY world, but if you know how to use a drill, you're comfortable with saws, you've done your own projects, I would absolutely say it is DIY friendly. I wouldn't say it's DIY beginner or beginner DIY friendly. Does that make sense? Your joints don't have to be perfect. The thing that I would be more worried about if you're quote unquote a beginner is being comfortable cutting brick. Other than that, it's really simple. So I got my shelves built and put in place, and this is when it really started to come together. Although I'm gonna say, grouting it was probably the hardest part about this entire project, which I assumed would be the easy part. But the fact that these aren't straight edged like a tile would be seriously makes it really difficult. So I just used a heavy duty plastic bag, acted as if I was piping in icing, and then once it's set up about an hour later, I took an old paintbrush that was pretty hardened and just swept out any of the chunks. I don't even know how to explain it. You'd have to see it. It's doable. It's just tedious, is what I should say. It's a tedious process. I think this is probably one of the scariest projects that I've done in a really long time. I don't know if I was in my own head with that, maybe because it was stonework and not actual tile. but I really love the way that it turned out. I still have so much to do in this kitchen. Make sure you're following along, subscribe, hit the notifications, and don't forget to ask me any questions that you have if you're tackling a project like this or any other renovation. See you next time.